going on? Welcome to another episode of the Impel Forward Podcast. I'm your host, Leon. Right here, I got my man KP. I call him Mr. Pierre.
What's going on, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah. We were supposed to have a guest today, but we don't. So we were sitting here kicking it, and we said we're gonna turn the record button on and go ahead and record.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. We started having conversation about why it is we do what we do. You know, what's our area of focus? What's our vision? And we thought it'd be good content if we just banter back and forth and let you guys hear us suss out our ideas and learn why we do what we do. So we don't know where this episode is going. It's just gonna go.
Right. And he asked me, why do I do this? Who is my target audience?
Yeah.
You know, I was explaining to him that when I first started, and it's still the case, it's all about Impel Forward. It's all about inspiring others to take action in anything they're trying to do and move forward. You know, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. That's my tag.
That's
I
the
like saying it.
tagline.
So, and that's what it's all about. But sometimes, you know, when we don't have guests, when I don't have guests,
Right.
we have our own little conversations going on about
Current
topics,
topics.
current
Current
events, and
events.
topics. And he was asking me, as far as you know, he's kind of militant now. He's real militant. So y'all hear our conversations if y'all watch the podcast in the past, the previous podcast. But make sure if you haven't, go like, share, and subscribe to the Impel Forward Podcast, and you'll see our conversations that we do have.
Absolutely.
When I don't have guests. And yeah, that's what we was talking about. So why are you so militant?
Militant. I don't know how to describe that. Do I get called militant a lot? Yeah. Do I get called Malcolm X a lot? Yeah. And for that, I will say I take it as a badge of honor. I often say if I'm doing something and a bunch of YT people are celebrating me, I just did something wrong.
Oh Lord.
So my goal in conversations that we have, even in the podcast or even in my everyday walk in life, is to be able to impact a person who has not yet reached a full potential in thought, someone who hasn't been inspired to learn about XYZ. My goal is to say something that'll trigger something that'll make that person look within themselves and say, hey, listen, I didn't know that. Let me look at this. Let me research this. Let me talk about this. Also, understanding that how impactful sometimes words can be. You tell me, like you were just telling me off mic, people will tell you about some stuff I say, you know. So words and phrases can be impactful in so many ways. So I try to be careful with what I say because I don't want it to be misinterpreted or misconstrued as to be something else that I didn't intend for it to be. So I try to be careful in the target audience that I'm trying to reach. Like I told you, when I'm answering our questions or when I'm talking about our current events or we just talking about random things, as I told you off camera, my goal is to reach that young 19-year-old black kid, whether it's a boy or girl, is to reach that 25-year-old that's sitting in the barbershop who actually want to hear the truth about something. My goal is to, when you ask me questions or when I'm just explaining things, I try to explain it in a way that person can hear it, because I notice, and I use the barbershop as a phrase, it's not as a condemnation. That's why I wanted to be clear. It's not a condemnation, but the barbershop is a place where we, in our era, how we grew up, that's because there was no such thing as appointments, right?
Yeah.
There was no such thing as, you come in and get right out. So it was a place where everybody went, and there were different generations of men in that form. And you could hear conversations from the Civil Rights March to LeBron and Kobe, right? And so it's the conversation expands because there are so many generation of men in there, and so but who can be the most impacted is that young mind, young black man, young black female that's in that barbershop. And when I say barbershop, I don't mean it literal, I mean the proverbial barbershop. So that's why I say I gotta be careful of the things I say, because I don't want it to be taken out of context. Although I am referencing the barbershop, it puts everybody, as I just explained, it puts you in the place. If you remember how we grew up, that's where you heard the latest gossip.
Right.
That's where you heard what was going on. That's who you heard who was running for mayor. That's who you heard was the whatever, you heard everything.
Right.
So if I can impart something positive in that and cast that seed on fertile soil so that it can grow, then that's my talk. It may be militant. Sometimes it may be, I have no gray areas, because in certain cases, and in this day and age, there should not be any gray areas. So
right. And we was talking about gerrymandering, and what you said earlier a few minutes ago. You were saying that you try to not go into much detail up to that 25-year-old because they might not understand it.
That's right.
So and we had a episode that a guy said the episode was good, the show was good, but we was late on topics.
Right.
And of course, I guess he missed the previous episode of us talking about gerrymandering.
Yeah.
So you said when I asked you about gerrymandering on a previous episode, that's what you said. You said you didn't go in it too deep. So what is it actually?
Well, my understanding, and this is part of what we talked about off camera.
Wait a minute, you got to go into it now. Because you said you didn't go into it last time I asked.
No, I went into it. So for the audience, he was this was part of our conversation of us chopping it up, and I told him the information that we cover, a lot of times we talk about a subject and we don't go deep into it, so we kind of talk around it for the sake of getting through it. But in some cases, I was suggesting to him, sometimes we need to go a little bit deeper. But in going back to my previous thing, when I said I want to be able to reach that young black child, sometimes you can't go too deep because you will lose them. So when I answer questions and I try to explain things, I try to answer it in a way that I can keep the attention and feed the mind. So I know that gerrymandering is a hot topic, and it goes. I think through this gerrymandering, I would say crisis, it's going to spark a lot of things that are to come. And so for those that are listening, the gerrymandering is simply is done every 10 years by the Constitution, as done by the census, because our census are taken every 10 years. So every year that ends in a 0, a census is done. And from that census, which is important, I'm guilty. I need to say parenthetically, like I've never filled out the census report.
Right.
I've never.
I'm better than you. I have.
Oh, you are so in essence, I took the government's. I think one time they sent it to me with $2 in it. I don't know. Yeah, they was sending.
Probably.
They were sending it with like 2 fresh, crisp dollars one time, or was it 5? I can't remember. I remember getting the census one time, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I just got a little bit more extra little money." But so the census tells the federal government or your state government. It tells them, "Hey, this is who's here. This is what's this is here in this. This is who's living in this demographic. I mean, in this who's living here in this district by demographic." The demographic or the ethnicity that they use will determine what type of representation that you will represent in the state government or either in the federal government. And so now, why is that important? So I normally, when I'm discussing things like this, I always hear the younger version of me and some of the younger version of some of the people I know, like, why vote? My vote doesn't matter. My vote doesn't count. I push back against that 100% wholeheartedly, and I'll explain why. And I'll use whatever, right? Why it's important that we vote, other than saying, well, our ancestors died for our right to vote. With this gerrymandering, this is the only time in history, in my history, that if someone tell me my vote is why will I vote? Because my vote won't matter. Gerrymandering will prevent your vote from mattering. Unlike any other thing other than voter manipulation or voter suppression, that happens. That always happens. Gerrymandering basically is going to take your representation. This is what they do. So they only they allow the gerrymander after the census is done, and it tells them ethnicity by ethnicity or race who lives in what district. And then from there, they can allow them to draw that district, and that district now has a seat. And then there's an election, and someone's elected to represent that district based off of the ethnicity. Because, well, I shouldn't say it would be the ethnicity; it would be who's the better candidate. But most of the times, if it's a heavy Democratic map that they're drawing, 9 times out of 10, the Democrat is going to win that seat. So there's this thing in called the well. Before I do this, in 2021, the Democrats did propose a bill to pass in the House where they would regulate or kind of outlaw gerrymandering, right? Because the Democrats are weak on this point because they allow the Republicans to do this all the time.
Do what they want to do, right?
They do what they want to do. And the case in point, why they did this is because I know from my state that I'm from, Louisiana, they did it about 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And here in North Carolina, they were able, because here in North Carolina, for whatever reason, the state reps, a lot of them are Republican, you know, and so and they had control up into this election, which is crazy. Trump won, but all the Republicans lost down ballot. So I always start something. So before I get off on a tangent, going too far, let me tell you why. Let me tell you what gerrymandering does. So they passed the vote. They passed the bill. Well, they didn't pass the bill. They proposed a bill to just kind of block states from gerrymandering mid-year, which is every 5 years at this point. You can only draw maps every 10 years. Well, Texas is trying to do it mid-year, 2025, right? So they're trying to do it. And what they're trying to do is there's about 5 districts that are in Texas. And if they redraw the maps, because a lot of times when they redraw the maps, they'll draw that map. It'll look like they'll make it look like a dog bone some ways, you know. It'll look like a dog bone. And it used to look like an egg, right? They'll draw it based off of things. And so that they can, so they're trying to do this so that they can get more seats in the House of Representatives. House of Representatives is where is one part of the legislation. So this is why I say your vote won't really count. And I'm gonna put this out there for education purpose. And somebody can hit us up in the chat. But what happens is in gerrymandering, they got this term called cracking and packing. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll take let's just say a black district, predominantly black, right? We know they're going to probably vote Democrat by the numbers. So what they'll do is, let's just say there's 2 districts that are predominantly black. One is, let's just say 80% black voters, and another one, let's just say, is 30% black. What they'll do, remember the cracking and packing? They'll take and pack that ones that's got about 30% blacks and the one with 80%, and they'll pack them into one district. All right. So instead of having 2 representations, they're only gonna have 1. All right. And so they'll pack them all into one district. And now that when they vote, that they all vote, and it's just one, they get one voice, right? Because a lot of times, like, I forget how many seats we have here. I forget how many it is. But if you have, let's say 7, and you have 7 districts, and they draw the maps, and 2 of those districts out of the 7 have black people in them.
Right.
When they cracking and packing, they're gonna pack everybody into one district, and the ones that are left, they're gonna crack them. They're gonna spread them out amongst all the other districts, and they filter into maybe like your white districts. So when they do vote, it's not gonna matter. You know, you may be a black person that's registered as a Democrat, but after they get through cracking your district, it puts you into a ruby red district. And when you do go to vote, whether it's for the local, state, or whatever, and if you vote a certain way, and they always predominantly vote Republican, and you vote, your vote's not gonna matter in no election.
Right.
And so that's the only thing about redistricting and with the gerrymandering. That's how it will effectively hurt your vote. And so that's why it's very, well, I shouldn't say very imperative, but it's imperative that we understand these things. And sometimes I believe you got to fight fire with fire. You know, so
you said it comes they do that every 10 years?
Yes, after the census, yeah.
Gerrymander,
yeah. Redrawing of the maps.
So if it's that big of a problem, why they keep doing it?
They redraw the maps by the Constitution. But these states have figured out gerrymandering. So the maps have to be drawn based off of the census report. These politicians figured out, well, since we got to draw the map, why is it we can draw it any kind of way? Yeah, you can. So they go by, they look at these districts and they draw it to fit their narrative. And that's why it's important that when people say, well, voting doesn't matter, no, it does. Because when it gets to this point to where they're going to either crack or pack your district, your vote really won't matter. And that's why it's important. And that's kind of a sort of a quick drill down on understanding how do you combat this? The Texas legislator, the Democrats, they're in quorum, which means they've left. They can't take. Governor Greg Abbott has done where he calls a special session, and I think he has 30 days for them to bring a vote. But if they're not in the state, they can't vote. So it expires after, I think, 30 days, and then he can do it again. So they'd have to stay gone again. That's why they talk about the Democrats have abandoned their jobs and they have left without doing their jobs. That's just Republican rhetoric. But what is the combat to this? So you have a lot of Democrat governors. Governors do hold a powerful seat in our legislation. And so, in legislation. And so these governors in these Democrat seats are saying, oh yeah, if you do that, we're going to do it to your Republican districts and we're going to gerrymander them out. So obviously California, if they gerrymander, because they have such a big piece of the pie, they have a lot of state representatives, they can actually send more, they can get more than 5, or they can just cancel. Let's just say Texas does it. And now this is going to trigger a response. We have Governor Newsom in California saying, if you do it, we're going to do it. You have what is the mayor of J.B. Pritzker in Illinois. You also have who is that? Hochul, that's in New York. She's talking about doing it, and Governor Westmore. So you have all those Democratic states that are talking, that are talking about doing it if Texas is allowed to get away with this. Now, what are the Republicans saying? They're saying that it's illegal, right? But they're doing it, and they've been doing it.
Right.
But remember, they always espouse what they are doing onto others.
So how long has gerrymandering been around?
It's been around since. I could not answer that question definitively.
Look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Let's look it up.
Because a lot of this stuff, these terms come, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's kind of is it a French word? And it was, I don't know if it was part of the original Constitution or not, that actual term.
Right.
Because it means bad. It doesn't, I'm not sure, but I do know redistricting is in the Constitution.
Right.
What did it say?
Was used for the first time in Boston, Gazette on 26 March 1812.
Yeah, the War of 1812.
Okay.
So the Constitution was already written. Remember, the Constitution was written in 1776, and a couple of ratifications here and there. So basically, it was birthed with the Constitution. So it didn't come in the beginning form,
right?
But it was amended into it.
Yeah, 1812.
1812. So
it's been around a good minute then.
It's been around a good minute, and I guess it's how you use it. The fear is, well, I don't know if the fear is. This is what I say. Trump is always looking for a reason to do something. Remember when I told you about? Remember we did our podcast and I said, if you learn your history, you'll know your future. That's why a lot of us know what's kind of going to happen at this point.
So you think we're going back to slavery?
No, I did not say that.
Hey,
I did not say that.
That's what a lot of people say. Thinking.
No, mental slavery, my brother. Look, I'll sound like
yeah.
Mental slavery, my brother. Free yourself.
Well,
no,
it's funny you say mental slavery. I was just listening to what's the guy name I was just listening to, and he was talking about different forms of slave, which were all the slaves working. When working in corporate. What's my man's name? I forgot it.
I don't know. Who is it? What did he look like? Was it Nur Muhammad?
No, it wasn't Nur Muhammad. He wasn't black.
He wasn't black?
No. Oh God, I think about it. But yeah, he was saying, like you said, mentally slave. We as far as working.
Was it Galloway?
No, not Galloway.
Does that sound like something he would take up the yoke of that and just called balls and strikes?
Yeah. He was talking about as far as those working till we 65, working for retirement.
No, I agree. That is a play on the monopoly board that continues to happen. They fool us into doing that very thing. Right. Like, hey, you get up, you go to. They condition you to be a worker and not an entrepreneur.
Right.
And so no, it's that's by design, brother. It's by design. So what I think is going to happen with this gerrymandering, I think that if Texas is able to do it or not do it, Trump is always looking for a reason. Remember, so we got off topic when I was talking about it. When you know your history, you kind of know what's going to happen. And what I mean by knowing your history, it's kind of like when you know your history, like I can use different points of history to explain what's happening now. Like, for instance, the takeover in D.C., right?
I was gonna get to that, but go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Well, we'll put a pin and come back to that because I was saying how Trump always looks for a reason to do something. They always been like that. So what I fear is going to happen is that if the Texas is able to do it, then what's going to happen is it's going to trigger the Democrats states to do theirs. They're going to gerrymander their Republicans right out of their seats. So much so that the Democrats will have the upper hand in the House. Trump knows that. Trump already knows two things. He knows that if Texas does it now, they didn't account that the Democrats was going to start fighting, bringing a gun to a gunfight, because typically they come with butter knife and they just let them roll right over them. Right. They didn't anticipate the Democrats to talk, hey, if you do it, we're going to do it. We don't care if it's legal or not legal. So here's the play, though. So if Texas is successful in doing it, that's going to trigger the Democrat states to do it. They're going to do it, and it's going to be all-out gerrymandering war. Because of that, Trump is going to use, that's going to be the impetus to say, you know what, I'm canceling the midterm elections because y'all cheated. It's not right. By Constitution, y'all wasn't supposed to gerrymander y'all districts mid-year. You wasn't supposed to do it. Right. Forgetting that the Republicans are the ones that, because remember that they don't care when they break the law. It's not breaking the law. It's when you do it. So that's going to trigger him, and he's going to have a good right to say it because everybody just broke the law.
Right. So that's always been my whole issue. Well, since I've been before, I didn't care. I ain't gonna say I didn't care.
I know I was there.
I'm gonna say I was told I couldn't vote, but so I didn't pay attention to it. But ever since then, I've been able to vote. It's like a game.
It's a shell game. You know, oh Lord, I'm hit the mic. It's a shell game. You know, follow the ball, right? Follow the ball. And no, that's not it. That's what it feels like.
So everybody's talking about Trump breaking all the rules and breaking all the laws and ain't doing nothing. He's doing everything against what should be done. But when it comes to, I always point back to this. We had Obama for 8 years. We had what's the last one? Biden. We had these past Democrats, and if we wanted stuff to get done, why couldn't they do it? You know, people have their points of why stuff didn't happen. But it's like Trump doing whatever he want to do all across the board.
Trump is doing, well, it seems that way. So if you're a Trump supporter, you loving what he's doing because he is hurting. Well, unless the ones that are getting hurt by him, you loving what he's doing because even me, I hate the gridlock in Washington as far as getting things done. You have to have a vote for this, a vote for that, committee for that, this, and that. The founding fathers set it up that way, right? So that everybody that's duly elected can have some say in the political process that is up there on Capitol Hill. Trump's like, bump all that. And he brags about it. Matter of fact, he was bragging about it just last week. He was like, they were saying, sir, you need congressional approval. I don't need congressional approval to send troops. I'm going to just send them, right? Because he's not supposed to just send troops.
So how's he getting away with it then?
Because, because what I'm saying, just the simplest thing, there is an act that he's breaking. It's a posse comitatus or something, posse comitatus, which states that a president cannot send federal troops into a state to police that state. That's posse comitatus. So he's broken. That's in the country. He's broken that. He was like, I don't care. When he sent them troops into California, he was like, I don't care.
So who's supposed if it's not something
the courts? So there's two lines of defense. There's the courts and there's the power of the vote in the people.
So how's he still doing what he want to do?
Because here's the deal. You keep asking it because
I'm confused.
Because he's doing it. First of all, the Constitution of the United States has never seen a person like Trump. They wasn't prepared for a person like him, meaning that he is going to defy, and his people, his sycophants that's under him, they're going to defy court orders. They're going to defy everything. They were like, we're just going to do it.
So what you telling me they had laws put in place for no reason?
No, they had laws put in place, but they didn't put anything in place for the people that was going to circumvent the law, which is the president. No one thought the president would be a damn mobster, right? On some of them probably been mobsters, but I'm talking about he is a New York style mobster. He's shaking down all these colleges. That's a shakedown. When you got Brown, you got UCLA and all these. All right, well, and he's trying to sue him for $500 million for this and $500 million. Those are shakedowns. Anytime every day he wakes up, he thinks about, okay, who can I shake down? He's shaking them down.
Right.
Nobody's stopping him. So who's supposed to stop him? The courts. The courts can't stop him because
why not?
Last year, the Supreme Court, or maybe I think the ruling came out earlier this year, John Roberts Court, they gave him presidential immunity. Now, they said that any acts that a president is doing, he has immunity. Now, what they have done is they have not defined what presidential acts are. So they sent that down to the lower courts to have that litigated in the lower courts because it has not been determined. Okay, he does have immunity, not him as Trump, but the president. Okay. And because he has immunity, it's on certain acts. So they sent it back down to the Supreme Court, sent it back down to the lower courts to define or determine, okay, what are acts? What are acts? Why they sitting there trying to figure that out? He's doing it. So they're not going to stop him because you got to understand, he put 3 Supreme Court justices on him, right? It's 9. So Trump can count. He knows he's going to always have a 5-4 decision or a 6-3 decision because he put 3 of them on there and the other 3 was conservatives. And so they have a 6-3. They say have a 6-3 Supreme Court republic. And remember, this was appointed for life. So they are on there now. Clarence Thomas and maybe Alito is probably it's probably time for them to go. but Trump is in office, so he'll get to a point. If they go, he'll get to a point. Another young person like Amy Coney Barrett, like he did, or Justice Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch, he appointed those three. They relatively young, so they're going to be there for life. Especially Amy Coney Barrett. The fact that he got to get three, that's on the Democrats. You know, I think Obama went to Ruth Bader Ginsburg and he, behind closed doors, say, hey, listen, you know, I don't think he said you're getting up in age, but hey, you know, it'd probably be good for you to retire so I can put somebody in there. And from what I understand, she refused it. Trump wins the election. He dies. There's a seat, right? So that was on the Democrats and that was on them. So I'm getting off topic here, but who's going to stop him? The courts and or the voters. That's it. That's all we got. There's no other nation that's going to come in here and do like we do other nations. Like, hey, you know what? Let's overthrow your dictator, and we're going to install our thing, and we're going to show you guys how to rewrite your constitutions. That's what the United States do. So nobody's going to come do that for us. So we got him in office, and he's doing these things. The only thing that we can hope is that the courts wake up and like, all right, this is turning into an autocracy. He's really a dictator, and he has formed his Third Reich as Hitler did. And so, because if the courts don't rein him in, he's just going. It seems like Trump been in office 6 years, and it's been like 6 months.
Yeah. And we got a long ways to go.
A long way to go.
Yeah. So look, so you touched on the. I think you said may not, but anyway. What he's got going on in DC right now, sweeping the high crime.
So,
police out there.
Knowing your history.
But hold on, wait a minute.
Okay.
And we can try to remember what you was about to say. As far as him having the police out there or army, whoever he got out there in the streets, going into these high crime areas, cleaning up the streets from, I guess, people who are committing crimes, murders and all this, whatever they're doing. Do you, like, you know, you have Black people that wants the crime down, that want crime down, want to, you know, clean up the community and the neighborhoods, but they don't like what he's doing. Do you agree? Well, how? Well, I don't think any of us agree on how he's doing it, but how can it be done any better as far as cleaning the community up? That's
a two-part question, but the first thing I will answer, will try to answer it. As far as what Trump is doing and why he's doing it. Trump does trial runs on a lot of things. California was a trial run. DC is a trial run. But the reason why, remember I told you knowing history? Throughout our history, every time there has been a rebellion, a coup, or slaughter of us, or a displacement of us, white America was always looking for a reason. And as soon as they get that reason, they do it. So let's just take the Tulsa massacre, 1921. It was because of a young fellow by the name of Dick Rowland. He was granted permission to shine shoes in the Drexel building. Sarah Page was this young white lady working the elevator. Some kind of way he's in the elevator. She comes running out saying something. And because they had this thriving Black community across the tracks, that was an impetus for them to say, here we come. And they don't just deal with him, they burn down the whole community. But they looking for a reason. The same thing happened in Rosewood with the young lady saying the man raped her when it was really she was having an affair. And she was like, this Black guy raped her. Boom. They go in there and burn the whole city down behind that. They always looking for a reason. One of the things that I would encourage somebody to do, or if they want to know, if you were living here in North Carolina, there's the Wilmington coup is 1898 that happened right here in Wilmington, right here in North Carolina, which is one of the biggest coups that has ever taken place. If you want to really know what's going to happen today or what they're trying to do, go. There's a documentary. It's probably about 20 minutes. It's called The Wilmington Lie. And it's on YouTube. That is gonna, if you watch that, it is impossible for you to walk away and like, oh my God, that's happening right now. When you learn about the coup that happened in Wilmington. And again, we could do a deeper dive on that on another podcast, which I would like for us to do, and just kind of walk through how it happened and what it is. And when you learn about it, are you familiar with it?
We talked about it before.
Yeah,
little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, that's why I can say we talk about things and we just don't talk through the thing.
But see that's what I asked. I don't know if we said something about it earlier, but on the podcast we did previous. As far as going back and learning that history, stuff like that won't do nothing but make me mad. You know, and then how would it help me now?
Good.
In this
good. Good. It makes you mad. Get mad, brother. That's what I want you to do.
Man,
I need another kufi wearing. I need a kufi wearing, dashiki wearing brother, man. But it's supposed to make you mad. But it's what you do with that energy.
Right.
You know, the reason why I brought up all of those things is because even in Wilmington, when you learn without talking much about it, what ended up happening, it was it was a thriving Black community. They had their own legislation. They had everything, the same as all these other Black towns. And make a long story short, one Black man, some white lady in Georgia made comments about Black man, a Black brute. And this man, what was his name? Horace Mann, I think his name was. Horace Mann he wrote a paper. He was like, yeah, I hear you, but it's your desire for that Black brute is really what the problem is. You desire that man. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he was like, you talking about brothers, but that's because you want them. And boy, set off a firestorm. You know, and so, you know, she was like, y'all gonna let him talk to me like about that? How I like, you know, Black guys and stuff like. So I said that to say, when you learn your history, all these things that I just told you, all those happened because of somebody white was accosted, but not really. So Trump has been talking about DC and cleaning it up and all this stuff. He's been talking this crap for the longest. Now, what happened 2 weeks ago? No, a week and a half ago? One of his Doge staff members, who Elon Musk hired, this guy, he was 19 years old when he was part of Doge, and he had an online, and they had to fire him because of some racist things they found that he said. They didn't fire him, they let him go, and then Trump and them hired him back in some capacity.
The young kid?
But 19 years old. So remember the 19-year-old?
Something about they
beat him up.
I thought he got fired. I might be talking about a different one.
They didn't fire him. They quote unquote fired him from Doge, but then they brought him back in another capacity within the White House. So
he was the one who went in the computer.
Yes,
that's the same one.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay,
that's him. Big balls.
Okay,
that's what he done. Great nuts, as Dr. Carr called him.
Okay.
So Great Nuts is in DC because they didn't really fire him. They just relocated. That's another thing. I put a pin in this. When these Karens get fired from these jobs, Black people are celebrating like, oh yeah, we got her fired. No, you didn't. You got her reassigned.
Right.
Because she went and got another job at another place with somebody else that was proud that she did what she did. So we always need to remember that. So why am I bringing this guy up? About a week and a half ago, this guy, I don't know what he was doing in what was happening, but basically he got a bunch of 14-year-olds beat him up and took his car.
I don't think I heard about that.
Yeah. So the guy who worked for Doe, the 19-year-old, big balls or Great Nuts. That hit Washington News. Like I said, when I saw that, I said, that's it. Because I know history.
Right.
I say, that's it. DC takeover. Right. I said it before it actually was, and then about 3 days after that, Trump started tweeting. And normally he's a terrible poker player. He started showing his hand, and I was like, well, it's about to happen. Because go ahead.
So what about like as far as the crime you talking about as far as
the crime? There was no DC has at the recorded 30% drop in violent crime.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, they have all the stuff that so when you don't know if you don't know what you don't know, when Trump did that press conference and he was equating DC to some third world countries by crimes, it was laughable watching that. Because if you know that they just pulling things out their ass. But to what we talked about the other night, to an electric that's not smart or capable of research, they're gonna believe that. Right. And so when he did the press conference, when he was citing the crimes, he said the crime is terrible. We got to get DC. And no one stood up and say, Mr. President, crime is 30. It's down. It's actually the lowest since the 70s or somewhere like that.
Right,
It's been the lowest since like the 70s.
Yeah, I was just listening to something earlier.
Yeah.
How the crime been down.
Yeah, it's down. You know, which is remarkable. I mean, I know why the crime is down because I went to DC, and if you went to DC today versus 20 years ago, you wouldn't recognize it because of all the gentrification.
Right.
Yeah, it's been gentrified.
But it's just a gentrification bad, man. Is it really bad?
It's bad, man, because well, that's a whole nother conversation because we moving Miss Irma out of her house, right?
Yeah.
And she raised generations of kids in that house, you know. Now they have nowhere to come back to because she can't afford to live there.
So if they did do affordable housing, putting somewhere, it wouldn't be that bad. If they built houses for people like Ms. Irma to go to, it wouldn't be necessarily bad.
Built it right there on their stoop, on their block, as Face would say, on my block.
Right.
You know, so yeah, you could do that on my block.
Yeah.
Not moving me and taking my block.
Top 5, Scarface, number 1.
Top 5. By the way, that podcast with Shannon Sharp,
yeah,
is dope, man. You listen to it?
Man, what?
Oh,
man.
Man.
Listen to Face, man.
Yeah, Face. Hey, man, that podcast, that was dope.
Yeah.
But I don't. So basically, what was we? We were talking about
Miss Irma getting kicked out.
Miss Irma getting kicked out. Well, I was giving my reason as to why the DC crime rate is low. I mean, it's been gentrified. And I know that always trigger you like, well, is gentrifying really bad? Yeah, it's bad. That's because you're not in the housing market. That's why it ain't bad to you. But
no, I'm just posing a question. You know,
no, for understanding.
Because I'm like certain rundown areas that's nothing that's been done. That's what I'm talking about. Not necessarily kicking people out the house to build something else. I'm talking about certain areas that don't look like anything. You know, just run down.
You're talking about how you say that word? I guess, wait, you 11th grade and I'm 12. We ain't got really yet. I was going to try to say dilapidated. Yeah, that's all right. I got it. Those areas that look like that, you're saying what's wrong with a developer coming in and developing it?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily talking about kicking somebody out of the house.
Yeah.
Then
when you allow that, that's
what's going to happen.
What you think they're gonna do? They Pac-Man. You allow them to eat one thing, they're gonna eat up the other space, another space, another space.
So if you have a block that just run down for 20 years,
you have to find out why is that block run down.
But what can you do about it though?
I don't know. There's no. I mean, like for instance, we've seen what happened in Detroit when the housing market collapsed. Detroit was hit the hardest. There was just houses just left abandoned because people couldn't afford it. They left. The banks couldn't foreclose on them fast enough. And you saw just neighborhoods of empty, abandoned looking houses. And then you were like, well, how can we do that? I don't know the answer because I know what caused it. So in business, we always try to find a causal factor or a root cause. We'll do a root cause analysis. And that's what caused it. And that's when you ask the 5 whys. You always need, all right, why? And then when you get to the 5th why, you should have a good understanding as to what your causal analysis should be. So it's hard for me to tell you, okay, what could be done without doing a root cause analysis. I have an idea what could be done, but it's not cookie cutter. What happened in Detroit didn't happen in New Orleans. You get what I'm saying? New Orleans faced it because of a flood at some point. I mean, because of the hurricane. Or because of a lack of economic prosperity, right? Because that's what caused it in Detroit. You know, they lost their jobs. These plants closed. You know, the car industry had to be bailed out, and so they got bailed out. But the people that had them homes didn't. Right. That's a whole nother thing. But
we're going all over the place. But did we answer? Did we answer about the?
I don't know. Did I answer your question? Well, I was saying. Well, you was asking me about Trump going into DC and what's all that about, and I was saying that it's
about. But I'm saying, do you agree with as far as
how you deal with the crime?
All blacks want, you know. We also want the neighborhoods cleaned up and
absolutely
from gang violence, gun violence, and all that. You know?
See, here's the problem with it. Here's the problem, Leon, is we as blacks, we talk off camera. We say blacks for a reason,
right.
Because we disassociating ourselves with, let's say, others. because we don't want to be around it either.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
So yes, if it's crime and if it's in areas that needs to be addressed, then okay. So Miss Irma, who's in DC on a block, she's been there all her life. The only reason why ain't nothing happened to her because she's elderly, but she's lost her grandson to the streets. She lost her baby boy to the streets on drugs. And she probably lost her oldest daughter to the streets, not through death, but through whatever, right? So you can't go down the street to Miss Irma in DC and tell her that, hey, we're against them sending the troops in here. We're against them federalizing the National Guard and coming through here. Mm-hmm. That lady was like, it's about damn time. Right. To her, it's about damn time. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's two ways to look at it. Here's what we've learned, because when you know history, mm-hmm. So me and you may look at the DC thing like, you know what, I can see that. All right, crime is down. He's looking for a way to do it. I know that this is a trial run to do some other shit, to do martial law. Yeah. But if you're in DC and you're in the crime area, you're kind of like, okay, cool. Because if you look at the chat online, it's split. You got black people that are saying, I'm glad he's doing this.
Right. Yeah.
Because they don't know history. Mm-hmm. All right. So when you know history, some things appear to be good on its face, but it's here's where it hurts Black America. It's implementation. Mm-hmm. So when we study history, we learn that there was a crack epidemic that happened in the mid 80s. Mm-hmm. And that transitioned into the 90s. And I know there was a lot of murders. I remember New Orleans, Detroit, Baltimore, 1, 2, and 3. Y'all still in crime rate.
Y'all still at the top in crime rating? Louisiana.
No, I think Durham is. No. It's in terms of cities, used to be us in Detroit. Or us in Baltimore, but we've taken a back seat to it, man. I think we're like fifth now, somewhere. It just fluctuate. But are we in the top 10, or like Scarface in top 5? Yeah, we always in top 5. Well, so here's what's happening. So when you don't know history, you're thinking he's sending the troops in there. He's gonna address crime. You're like, good. Like I said, you got Miss Irma. She's lost a generation of her kids and her grandkids to the streets. She's like, good. Yeah, I'm glad Mr. Trump is doing this, right? Meanwhile, me and you, well, not me and you, because you Leon Trump, but I'm saying, no, y'all don't want this.
No, I don't agree with how Trump is doing it. I do not agree with that. But I'm just posing questions.
So when we study history and we learn history, we know that we remember the crack epidemic. Crack brought crime, and crime brought destruction of our community and things like that. So it wasn't just Miss Irma, it was our parents at the time. Like, these damn kids, they don't listen. They shooting everybody. They robbing everybody. They're going to their city councils fussing at at the mayor. The mayor's fussing at the governor. Everybody's like, somebody need to do something.
Right. And I think it's
so. What happened? 94 crime bill.
Oh yeah.
So when you don't know history, you doomed to repeat it. So why do I say that's why I say you got to learn history? Mm-hmm. What happened with the 94 crime bill? I'll tell you, because if everybody's wondering, like, we got all this crime, like they're trying to address this in DC. Mm-hmm. The crime bill is not bad on paper.
Hey, they're gonna get you for saying that.
No.
The black community gonna get you.
No, that's why I said no. Trust me. Listen. I'm not a supporter of Joe Biden and this crime bill. I'm not a supporter of it.
Right.
But I'm saying why it came to be.
Right.
It came to be to address high crime rates. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying it's not bad when it comes to addressing crime rates. Right. But remember, I told you what hurts black people is implementation. Mm-hmm. So now we're asking white America, we passed this bill for you, now implement it. Well, who you think they finna hit over the head with the bill? Us, which spiked our crime, which spiked our incarceration rate through the roof. Mm-hmm. Because of its implementation. DC, you sending the National Guard there, you sending federal troops. Okay, good. But the implementation is we're already watching what they're doing. You don't see them accosting nobody white. Mm-hmm. They're in black neighborhoods, people sitting on their porch. Hey, what y'all doing? Man, we just here smoking a black and right? Going in people's houses without a warrant. That is violation of your amendment, right? A violation of your rights per the, what's that, the 4th or 5th Amendment, one of them. They're just going into people's houses because technically, you know, they have no jurisdiction, but they don't have nothing blocking them either. So the implementation is what hurt us. And that's why I'm saying, I hear you, Miss Irma, but that, I'm telling you, this is going to destroy our community because they're going to lock up more black kids and black men, and they're going to get so many people caught up in so many things. So that's why I will say that I understand that we do need to address the crime, but I think maybe if we go back to community policing, kind of like what they did in Camden, New Jersey, when Camden, New Jersey was on that list too.
So when you say community policing, you think these, I want to say young kids, I'm gonna say young kids are gonna listen to community?
Not today, because they don't listen to their parents.
Right. So that's actually where it starts, with the parents.
It does start with the parents.
In the home. And if you don't got the right parents to really teach the kids, you think the community can teach them and help them?
I
think somebody in the community?
I think that it's going to be hard to do community policing today because they do not listen to their own parents.
Right.
I think that one way we can probably make an impact is we're going to have to go back to the old Black Panther type of movement. It's going to be me and you. It's going to be people like me and you that are forming together. We may lose a few of us, but we're trying to reach all of those kids. And it'll take us in collaboration, coming together and showing these boys a different way, but loving on them at the same time, also giving them guidance and structure, and also letting them know that y'all can't do this no more.
Right.
All this hustling, that's got to stop. But we can't tell them that if we don't give them nowhere to go.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because the government is not going to do it. Hence the reason why the Black Panther Party formed in 1966, because they got tired of the police just coming in there knocking heads, as they would say, right?
I think that's where it comes along with when we talk about gentrification or building something. I think that's where they need more community. I think back in the day, it used to be more community centers and stuff like that, right?
Community centers, yeah. Everybody had a community center.
To go to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may be. I'm not saying it is it because I'm not out there now. Is there a lot of community cities around for kids to go for free? You know, a lot of places you got to pay now.
I think, yeah, you do, or go to the Y and pay.
Right.
I think, Leon, I'm out of loop on it, just like you, man. My son's older.
Yeah.
I don't have any young kids that I have to oversee in the course of a day. And I wouldn't know that anyway because we live a different life than we grew up. So our kids are not in that.
Because like you said, they have to have someone to go. A lot of Black people just don't have a building you can put them in and teach them things and show them things.
No. We have to go back to the grassroots, man. Teaching getting these babies when they're younger, when they're between 5 and 12, putting them, use the church as teachings, you know, and instead of sending the kids here, send them there, send them to a church where we have something set up where we're teaching him who his brother is. Hey, that's your brother. You love him, man. You don't kill him. You join together against them. He ain't your ops. That guy walking with that Confederate flag, that's your ops. Not him. Y'all fighting up over a block that neither one of y'all parents own. That's got to be the dumbest. But again, I was part of that. I didn't know no better. But now that I know better, so it's that's why it's hard for me to talk to him because I don't want to lay in judgment. Because man, we've been there. You know, I've been there terrorizing the neighborhood. You know, would a KP and a Leon group of men like that been impactful to me? I don't know. I don't know.
And I think they were around then, but you was hard headed. You weren't listening.
I wasn't by myself.
You weren't listening.
I wasn't by myself, but no, it was like you remember the old African proverb that I said that when a boy is kicked out of the village, he'll return to burn it down just to feel the warmth. And so when you're listening, when you watching these, what we would consider YNs coming back, just destroying the terrorizing the neighborhood and burning it down, was what I'm saying. That's because they were kicked out of the village. Mama probably couldn't do nothing with him at 14. He got bigger than her, so she kicked him out. Now he's living pillar to post. And as he gets older, now he's 17. And now he comes back in there because he's bigger, stronger, and faster now. Now he's coming back to that neighborhood and he's terrorizing it because the village kicked him out, you know. And when I say village, that's that parenting, that's the grandparents, that's the aunts and uncles. There was nobody there to catch that fallen child.
Right.
And when that child fell, nobody caught him.
Right.
And so you got in where we come up in, you have a whole bunch of fallen kids, and there's nobody there to catch them.
Right. So how do you talking about community policing? How do you tell a young kid?
I don't.
One thing I don't like, and I hate this. I even look at it. It's a young kid walking around holding his pants up, walking. I can't
looking
stand
like
it.
a damn penguin.
How can you walk up to him and say, "Hey, man," like I tell my nephews, "Look, you can be cool with your pants up."
Man, I think it's the most disgusting thing on planet Earth.
Yeah.
I hate that. One thing about I love Black people, man. I love us, but sometimes I don't like us all the same
Right.
because we over-index on everything, and that thing got started and it grew like wildfire. The only way for this to end is for I'm not gonna say little young ladies like your daughters, because your daughters would never see that and see a man, right?
Well, they get tired of me talking.
So your daughters won't be attracted to that.
Right.
We need to go back to where we come from and talk to those young ladies. If those young ladies stop accepting them, they'll pull their pants up. Because remember, the power of the P controls everything. So if those young ladies in those areas in which they interact with those type young men, and when I say young ladies from ages 14 as high as 35, because I see 35-year-olds walking like that.
You do. Right.
So if we engage the Black queens and tell them how beautiful they are, and we tell them how deserving they are, and what a man looks like when they see it, and because they remember, just as much as that young boy's falling and nobody's there to catch him, that young lady's falling too.
Right. I was just about to say, at the same time, we got the
mamas out there being bad bitches.
Right.
Well, I shouldn't say that, but they out there being bad, they being bossed up and all that. And meanwhile, that little 12-year-old girl's over there suffering. You know, she doesn't know what a man looks like because mama keep parading this one and that one in and out. You know, and that's not the case for all, but they're falling too. But I say if we reach them, if we reach those young ladies and give them and show them their worth, they will know that they're worth more than that. And then they'll pull them damn pants up. That's the only way to attack it. You can't legislate it. You can't pass a law. You can't threaten them, because I ain't gonna tell them to pull their pants up.
Right, me either.
No, I don't even talk to them. I'll be looking. I'll be like, man, y'all don't think you had them same drawers on, bro. Like, and you think it's cool to walk around, you with your listen, man, you with your homeboys all day, hugging the block. All of y'all got your ass showing. All of y'all got these same dirty drawers, boxes, I don't know what it is, man. And you got a belt on, and it's still falling down.
Trying to hold them up.
What is the belt is designer. That's why you got to wear the belt. That's why, you know. And so everybody's walking around here looking like a penguin, getting caught by the police because they run 10 yards and the pants come down and they fall and the police got them. So they're not going to tell them to pull them up. They're like, yeah, keep weighing them down. Keep duck walking.
Yeah.
Hold
on. Make sure you go to impel4merch.com. That's impel4merch.com. All things Impel4 merch. As you see here, I got the hats. Got some other merch. Go to impel4merch.com. And look, we got to get you the you remember how Obama used to be like,
no, man, you did that in the chat, man, making fun of Obama. No, I'm just like, Obama is him.
No, we got to get you to say that so you can like kind of watch your beep your words out. Think about what you say.
I need media training.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying, and that's short for I need media training. I make no qualms about it. I probably do need media training, but listen, man, as long as the audience know and you know, this mouth and this mind is a Glock.
Yeah,
you don't need no safety. Ain't no safety on this Glock.
Yeah.
You know, so why put a safety on the Glock?
You need it.
No, you don't.
They say words can be dangerous now.
It can be, but remember, that's why I was worried about it. But for those who have mental clarity, they understand what I'm saying. Yeah, man, ain't no hell. I saw Scarface said it. Didn't want it right. Yeah, it ain't no. Yeah, ain't no safety on this Glock. Yeah. You know, and I mean that metaphorically. I'm talking about my mind and my mouth. What comes out of it. Yeah. You know.
So let's touch on this right here. This is what I was talking about earlier.
You wasn't paying attention. You was on your damn phone while I was talking.
No, I heard everything you said.
You know who do that? You know who does that?
Who that?
There you go. Them kids.
Use that.
I'm getting better.
Another subject. We're gonna move on. And it was Napoleon Hill. I don't know how this came up on my feed. It said people work until age 65 and end up with nothing. Man, he was saying some things, man. I was listening. I was like, man, this is. He was talking about half of the men don't even live to 65.
No,
you know what I'm saying.
And they're moving the retirement age up.
Right.
Yeah, I think 68 or something like that. Because how dare you infidels live that long, right? I'm not talking about one race. I'm talking about us all. Right now, I'm talking through a lens of us all. I think I didn't see that one, but I saw something. I've been reading about that. Raising the retirement age, but people breaking down the whole game.
Right.
You know, how we work this long. We give the company this much of our time. You know, we're programmed to listen, man, there's a reason why there's rush hour traffic going and coming, because we have been programmed. We've been programmed that 7, 8, 9. Nobody really gets to work at 9 anymore, but that 7, 8, 9 an hour. And then what's that 3, 4, 5? We're programmed. And you're programmed to go in there and do what you're supposed to do and shut up and be thankful that you got your good benefits and you're getting your pay. Right. And if you do this for 30 years for us, we'll give you a watch, you know, and that's why a lot of people probably not putting into the 401k, which we could do a breakdown on that, man. We probably need to get a guy in here about because the powers that be took the onus off of the companies when they used to have to pay in your pension. And then they came up with this idea of how the 401 came. I'd have to talk about that another time, but essentially you're funding your own pension. They're no longer doing it. You're doing it. Right. But how do they leave? How do people work with nothing? Because every job don't offer 401k. Right. Or 403b or some type of retirement, like the teachers and the fire. All jobs don't offer that. So you'll have somebody that worked for McDonald's, or you have somebody who worked for Stanley Steamer, and there is no retirement.
That's why I stress to people. Once I started learning about stocks, you can open up your own brokerage account. Yeah. And you can create your own 401k or Roth or your own
true, because they're right, your own portfolio. Yeah, that's true. You can do your own. But man, that is cumbersome for somebody that does not. Well, they heard it, but they don't understand it. Right. And what my thing is, what I've been trying to figure out, Leon, is because I got a friend of mine and you got some friends. I want to talk to them about, let's break this down to the simplest kind. Okay. Because for me to do anything, when I don't know something, when I call somebody and I ask about X, I say, hey man, give me my first 3 steps. Right. You know, you probably heard me say that. Well, no. When I really want to learn something and I'm into it, I want to how I learn things and how I implement them in my life. Instead of eating the elephant whole, I eat it piece by piece. So I'll be like, all right, I want to do this. What's my first 3 steps? All right, you need to do this, this, and this. Okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and I'm gonna come back to you. All right, what's my next 3 steps? To me, it makes it simple. So I think how we can impact and reach from the people that are like me and you, who want to do more of it, who want to understand, and the people who is, because you got the people who scared of it too. Right. They're scared of it. They're like, we got to find a way to make it simpler.
Mhm.
And as far as, okay, this is the mortgage account, brokerage account you use. These are the stocks we're gonna do. Because you think about it, man, you could do options, you could day trade,
so
you
many
could
ways.
ETFs.
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
got people pull back. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because if
Right.
you don't know what you're doing,
Right.
like me, early on, you're gonna lose thousands of dollars, man.
I think you know more than you say you do. Just by talking to you, the talks we had, you know more. You just
listen.
You just have to do it.
Listen, the reason why I know what I know is them old folks say it's bought sense.
Yeah.
I paid to know this.
Yeah, but you got to.
I lost a lot of money, but I learned.
Now you lost money in trading. So me and him talk a lot about stocks and trading and this and that. You need to stop that trading. That's what you need to stop doing. But you want the fast money. He wants fast money. So you know what you can do.
I like it fast, man. I want to turn $10 into $1 million.
Yeah. But I guess it was the more we talk to people and see and listen. Well, the more I talk to people and sit and listen, that I guess it was designed for us not to know.
It's murky.
Right.
And if you just have a common mind, and this is not a knock on anybody, because again, I barely graduated from high school and I have no college credits, so I'm not speaking from on a high horse, because education was not my strong suit.
Right.
I often tell people I was a D student,
right,
but I'm an A adult.
right.
And you can be too. So,
right.
So I'm not saying that to say this. What I'm saying is that some kind of way we have to make it simpler in this explanation and give it a step by step.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is we have to create like a syllabus in order to do that, or a step by step, and not charge people. Because me and you talked about this, man, and not charge your own people $5,000 and $10,000 to learn how to get out of poverty and create generational wealth. Yeah. If you guys are doing it, earn your leisure. Quit charging your people.
It's not earn your leisure. It's one
of them bright skinned dudes. Use the light skin energy. Man. That's why people don't mess with y'all.
Yeah, it ain't earn your leisure.
He's on there.
Yeah, he's on there. Yeah,
he's on there like I'm on NPR. I'm good, right?
Well, you do have people out there charging like 10,000, 5,000, and saying they want the community to get ahead,
to get themselves out of break generational curses. Right. Learn financial literacy. Mm-hmm. That all just take my course for $14.95. But wait, if you sign up now, I will reduce it to $12. Even that's too much.
Yeah. But you don't have to, like you say, you don't even have to go through it. You take, like you say, you give your first three steps.
Get your first 3 steps.
Take bits and pieces. YouTube, you can learn a lot on YouTube.
It can confuse you too.
And it can confuse you.
Yeah.
And that's with anything else besides stocks. But if you take it bit by bit and step by step, and the more you learn, the more you know.
I would like to see somebody out there find what's the safest vehicle that our community can put their money in.
The safest?
The safest vehicle, other than just
what's my man name?
Bonnership, huh?
The older guy? The white guy. Warren Buffett?
Yes.
He said ETFs.
He said ETF, right?
ETFs
and mutual funds.
Yeah.
So
that way you ain't got to worry about it. Just set it and forget it.
Yeah. So we would have to put something together,
right,
or someone had to put something together. Okay, this is the brokerage account. These are 3 options you can use. We're not getting paid for any of them. And then use what we know is safe. So Warren Buffett did say that, but then you may have people that I'm confusing the thing, because some people may want to do dividends. Mm-hmm. Somebody might want to do day trade. Yeah, dividend stock where they get paid every quarter, or dividend payouts. That's very lucrative. Yeah, so I've heard. I've been listening to. I don't have any dividend stocks at the moment, but I'm definitely looking into that. Right. And because a person that I follow, that I listen to, this person is dividend stocks only.
Yeah. And
she has gotten it up to a certain point that's why she was able to retire from teaching. Right. She retired from teaching, and because she got her dividend payout to a point to where it covers her bills.
Right.
And I've been listening to her for a long time, And so that piqued my interest.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the cloudiness come in, where you're right. I do know a lot more than what I said, because even with Reeds,
I was about to say,
I start thinking about with Reeds with Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley Fox.
Yeah, man.
Reeds. Check out Ashley Fox. Them Reeds. She gives a lot of information.
Did she pay us to do that?
No, she did. No. Shout out.
Look, it sound like me, right? I was like, don't be charging your people. Like, did she pay us for this?
No, hey, look, I just like to give information, man.
Yeah. Ashley Fox, yeah. But I think what we were saying is, I think we just need to make it simpler.
Right.
Because I think not only they don't know, they're scared.
Right.
You know, if you're making $30,000 a year, you can't afford to lose $750 on a course.
Right.
And then you just invested your savings of another $600. And now you put that into some day trading. Suckers gone.
I ain't gonna say do not day trade, but day trading that's for
advanced people. My son day trades, and man, listen, he's more advanced. You think I know? He's quiet, but he knows more about day trading than I do.
Right.
Matter of fact, when he was here, man, that's all we talked about. You know, and then when I think about it, after I sent him to the airport, I was like, you know, me and my son talked about trading stocks, everything. He was doing stuff in stocks that I wasn't doing, making money.
Right.
So I'm looking at him. I'm like,
what to do though?
Huh?
He really know what to do.
See, you taking shots, man. You're taking shots.
Because you be
well, I lost a lot of money, man. But then again, I've learned too. But no, just it was awesome to be able to sit there and talk to. And I think so. It brings it back to, how did my son get into this? I guess talking about it, being around it. And he just took and ran with it. Right. You know.
And it's like anything else. If you want to get better at it, you got to do it every day. You got to really study.
You got to be around it.
And be around it every day.
Because when I say, you know, the thing with what you just said, like you gotta do it, but you around it every day.
Yeah.
Every day, it don't matter what day I come into the shop.
Right.
You're edifying your brain with something financial. You're edifying your brain with something that's impactful.
Right.
And you probably sleep really good at night because you don't vex your spirit, because you're not watching street fights on the internet at night like me. And so you wondering why I'm having nightmares, right? And can't sleep.
My daughter asked me, she said, Daddy, are you gonna ever watch TV again?
I have, right.
Man, that's all I watch, man.
I know. I haven't been watching TV because I've been doing I haven't watched TV in a long time, and I love watching series. But I told myself that yesterday. Do I want to? Because man, I've been doing a lot of reading.
Yeah,
I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been doing a lot of research on things, and so before I know it, I'm 7 hours in,
right?
And then I take a break, and then I was like, oh, let me go. You know what? I want to hear this.
Right.
TV never gets turned on.
Yeah, and I'm like, I started this really a couple of years ago, and it haven't been too long, man. Now it's all, I just want all this information. I guess because of all that studying I didn't do in school.
Yeah, my brother went to 11th grade. I went to the 12th.
No, well, you give me credit. It wasn't that far.
Yeah, hey, man, I think I'm gonna give you that, man. You know, I'm social promote you. Yeah.
But yeah, we just sitting here having a conversation. Like I said, we were supposed to have a guest, we didn't. So we just talking off camera. We said we're gonna turn the camera.
That's all we did.
And this is what we do all the time. Because sometimes we go at it because he
because he
sometimes he just
tell it. No, what you do? Tell the people what you be doing.
I don't do nothing.
He like to play devil's advocate. It don't matter what side you on. He gonna come down the other side.
Yeah. But it's just give people thought. That's all. You know.
It does invoke thought. It invokes conversation. And just like this, I have no idea how long we've been going, and we didn't even plan this. This was just something that was impromptu. And we were just like, hey, put the camera on, man. This might be good content because this is how we talk.
Yeah, this is how we talk.
You know, and a lot of people for a long time have been telling me, it was like, man, you need to be on the podcast. You need to be on the podcast. The reason why I like to do it is because I get to talk.
Yeah, and he can talk. Every episode I say this, he can talk. So, you know.
I don't know it, so it don't matter. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So I don't know it, but anyway, man, it's always cool to get together and chop it up, to match like minds together and be able to have conversation about just about a lot of things that are going on.
And even when we disagree sometimes.
We disagree. We disagree.
Yeah.
We disagree on some things, and but listen, we could disagree without being disagreeable.
Right.
And so, and that's what you want to. That's what I teach my son. That's you don't want to have a spirit of just being honoring disagreeable person. Like nobody likes you,
right?
Because you just because you don't like something, you just want to bastardize it and be so disagreeable. You know, nobody's gonna like you,
right?
So you got to respect people's positions. Yeah. That don't mean you have to like it. You can respect it, as long as they showing you respect.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Yeah. Well, this was a good one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the MPL Fort podcast. We're here.
That's it.
Like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you go to the MPLFortMerch.com. That's MPLFortMerch.com. All things MPL Fort merch. And remember, seize the opportunity to grasp your dreams. Peace.